As Lauren's wheelchair crept closer, her eyes bore into Matt's with an intensity that made his blood run cold. With a barely audible whisper, she uttered the words that sent a chill down his spine. "I know everything, Matt." Matt felt a lump form in his throat as Lauren's words hung in the air. All his secrets seemed on the verge of spilling out, leaving him exposed. In the silence that followed, the room felt heavy with uncertainty. What had Lauren discovered, and what would happen next? The tension was thick, like a rope pulled tight, waiting to snap. Matt Phelps, a 40-year-old businessman, had a wife, Lauren Hugelmaier. Lauren, once vibrant and full of life, now found herself confined to a wheelchair, trapped within the confines of her own body by the merciless grip of locked-in syndrome. Though her mind remained sharp, her body was nothing more than a vessel, powerless to respond to the world around her. Locked-in syndrome is a rare neurological condition where a person is conscious and aware, but unable to move or communicate verbally due to complete paralysis of nearly all voluntary muscles in the body, except for those controlling eye movements. This paralysis is often caused by damage to the brainstem, usually resulting from a stroke, traumatic brain injury, or other severe neurological conditions. Despite their profound physical limitations, people with locked-in syndrome are often cognitively intact, with intact intellectual abilities and emotions. However, the condition can be emotionally distressing and isolating due to the inability to interact with others in conventional ways. Locked-in syndrome presents significant challenges for both the affected individual and their caregivers, as it requires specialized care and support to meet the person's needs and maintain their quality of life. Matt, the epitome of a doting husband, was admired by all who knew him. He tended to Lauren's every need with unwavering devotion, or so it seemed. Behind closed doors, however, lurked a different man. A man consumed by greed and lust, willing to exploit his wife's vulnerability for his own selfish desires. Lauren's sister, Dorothy, often visited her to spend time with her and to let her know that she wasn't alone. Dorothy would join Sabrina, Lauren's household staff, in doing the chores and making sure everything was in place. It was safe to say that Lauren was in safe hands. On a certain day, Dorothy already said goodbyes to her sister, Lauren. Matt was around. He escorted her to her car, and she drove off. Shortly after, Lauren was fast asleep, but she woke up when she heard noises. She looked by her side, but she didn't see Matt. She thought he was probably seeing a movie, so she worried less and went back to sleep. Lauren woke up unusually early the next morning. Sabrina was wise enough to check up on her from time to time, so she helped her up and made her comfortable. Lauren looked out the window and saw Dorothy's car. Shortly after, she saw Dorothy and David sneaking out, while Matt was holding Dorothy's waist lovingly. Lauren was in shock, but she didn't react in any way. That afternoon, Lauren tried to ask Sabrina for help ordering a new communication board, but Sabrina discovered Lauren had no money left. Upon investigation, Sabrina learned that all of Lauren's funds had been transferred to Matt's account, and he was planning to move away with Dorothy. Upon returning home, Matt acted as if nothing had happened and kissed Lauren. Sensing something was amiss, he asked her what was wrong, but she continued to wheel closer with fiery eyes. He tried to make her calm down, but that only fueled the fire. The wheelchair made an abrupt stop, and she said in a barely audible whisper, "I know everything, Matt." In rare cases of locked-in syndrome, individuals may retain some limited ability to communicate despite their severe paralysis. This can include using eye movements, blinking, or making faint vocalizations. While Lauren's condition might have severely limited her ability to speak, she was still able to muster the strength to utter a few words, albeit in a whisper or with great effort. This limited form of communication allowed her to convey that crucial message to Matt. Surprisingly, he took out a knife and stabbed Lauren multiple times in the face. However, as he was about to depart, the police arrived and arrested him, prompted by Sabrina's call. Lauren was confirmed dead, and Matt was sentenced to life imprisonment without the option of parole.